The Trump family is truly taking over the cryptocurrency industry. Now, here's the thing. They're not doing it silently. They are literally telling you to buy the dips. They're telling you exactly what they're doing. They're disclosing their whole plan. But here's the issue. As I've told you since 2020, as they tell you to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. There's so many distractions right now that you can't see the forest through the trees. So again, I'm going to share with you the facts, figures, numbers, logic. I'm going to show you what they're doing. And then on the back end of every video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I am doing. It's not financial advice. I'm just peeling back the curtain. No gatekeeping. Here's exactly how I'm beating inflation, how I'm creating cash flow, and how I'm taking advantage of the largest shift in generational wealth in history, that we will never have this opportunity again. So over the next 5 years, it's going to be extremely critical for you to be non-price sensitive, to understand what the picks and shovels are going to be. Stop searching for the get rich quick gold. Pick a few investments, lock in, and hold on for the ride. So I'm going to show you a video once again that I've showed you over and over again on my channel because it's extremely, extremely important. I make my decisions off facts, figures, numbers, logic, studying history to look at the waves of energy going forward. This was 8 years ago now. I've been showing you this video for so long, okay? If you want to find this video, type in Trump even playing field. This was on CNBC over 8 years ago. President Donald Trump on currency devaluation will level the playing field, okay? So this was 8 years ago in his last presidency. Now remember, he told you that he's a dollar guy and to cryptocurrency. All of them flipped in 2023. Larry Fink, Jamie Dimon was already building blockchain, and JP Morgan now will let you use Bitcoin as collateral at the back end of this year, but he still says it's for criminals. Larry Fink, number 2 holder in Bitcoin. Trump, out of billionaires, is a number 1 holder in Bitcoin. And I'm going to take you a little bit deeper, and I'm going to show you how rich the Trump family is getting in cryptocurrency. So the dads are writing the rule, which I'll show you. Steve Witkoff. We got Howard Lutnick. And we got Donald Trump writing the rules, and the boys are building the new banking system, and we can invest in it. So this is, just to be clear, this is 8 years ago. Okay, get your notes, get your pen and paper out. 8 years ago, then I'm going to fast forward you to the meeting with Howard Besnett, talking about the meeting with China once again. So he's going to talk about currency devaluation, and that we'll be on an even playing field. And I'm going to show you and explain to you what that field is. The difference is they're letting us get involved in it.
Yesterday with the president of China. It was a very, very warm conversation. I think we are on the process of getting along very well, and I think that will also be very much of a benefit to Japan. So we had a very, very good talk last night and discussed a lot of subject. It was a long talk, and we are working on that as we speak. We have conversations with various representatives of China. I believe that will all work out very well for everybody, China, Japan, the United States, and everybody in the region. As far as the currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time. And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field. Because that's the only way it's fair.
Listen.
That's the only way that you can fairly compete in trade and other things. And we will be on that field, and we will all be working very hard to do great for our country. But it has to be fair, and we will make it fair.
Boom. 8 years ago. Now let me explain to you what the even playing field is. So this is Scott Bessent, our Treasury Secretary, talking about the meeting. Now we fast forward 8 years to October 30th, 2025. This is his meeting with China. Okay, we're going into the tariff deals, and then I'm going to show you what the even playing field is. And I'm going to share with you how I'm taking advantage of investing in the new infrastructure, the financial system for the next 100 years.
All the congratulations should go to President Trump. He has a fine relationship with President Xi. The mood in the room was one of great respect but also between two men who knew each other quite well and knew what they were getting into. I think what was very helpful for today's meeting was my counterpart, the Vice Premier, Huli Feng, and I had 2 days of very tough and fulsome negotiations in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, earlier in the week. So President Xi walked in the room and said, I think we can agree on the consensus reached in Malaysia. And so the two leaders were able to discuss more bigger picture ideas during the conversation, including what the remainder of President Trump's term would look like. Because
Okay, so we know the tariff deals are coming in. Okay, interest rates are coming down. The printing machine's going to start to burr again. Okay, remember your value of your dollar. He was concerned about currency devaluation. He's always been concerned about currency devaluation. We have 120% debt to income ratio. China has 300% debt to income ratio. Okay, most of America's debt, 30% is held outside the United States. Most of it's held by Japan and China. Okay, one way they could weaponize the US dollar against us is to dump treasuries. Biden, when Russia invaded Ukraine, he took them off the SWIFT system. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are working to de-dollarize. So Trump comes in with his family, and remember, they created WFI, which I'm going to show you on the back end here. And since Trump came in 2024 to run as the crypto capital of the world, the Trump family has grown dramatically in their wealth. Okay, they have WFI, which I'll show you that platform and who runs that. They have USD1, the fastest growing stablecoin in history. They have now brought Tether into America, USAT, which controls 90% of the stablecoin market. Genius Act, Genius. Stablecoins use what? US treasuries to balance them out 1-to-1. They trumped everybody. We'll be on an even playing field monetarily before you know it. Stablecoins are an even playing field monetarily. Anybody can use a stablecoin around the world. The currency devaluation is going to suck into stablecoins, just like the Russian parliament said. They're going to use Bitcoin to rebalance the balance sheet. It's going to be the new gold, and there's going to be an even playing field monetarily. We can transact with each other, guys. We don't need a central bank anymore. So what they did is they got set up with their infrastructure in a decentralized bank, and now they're writing the rules for the new system because they know we can play in the water now. We can actually jump in the pool now. So TradFi banks, traditional banks, Bank of America, Chase, and think about Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon got in the game already in 2017. He built JPM coin, Onyx, which became Lynx. He built his own blockchain technology. He knew this was coming. He built his own coin. Okay, guys, this isn't a flip of a switch. This has been happening behind the scenes for a very, very long time. So let's look at the facts, figures, numbers, logic. So this is Eric Trump, who's been telling you to buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip on March 31st, 2025. Okay. They had 0 Bitcoin in their company, which is American Bitcoin, which is a mining company. September 3rd, 2025, 5 months later, 5 months and 3 days later, we went public on the NASDAQ at 2,465 Bitcoin. Today, October 21st, just 1 month and 21 days for our public, they have 3,865 Bitcoin. They were at 0 on March. Wake up. They were at 0 on March 31st. They went to 2,400. They're at 3,865 Bitcoin now. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 7 months. They now have 3,865 Bitcoin. 6 months and 24 days later, we are the 26th largest Bitcoin treasury, passing our competitors daily. They will become the #1 Bitcoin treasury. I promise you. Okay. Barron Trump. Barron Trump's net worth is 150, some report 180 million at 19 years old based on cryptocurrency. This is the future. This is the future. Okay. This was on what station is CNN, and they're talking about GOP oversight. Chair weighs in on the Trump family's lucrative crypto deals.
Right. There's a Reuters report today on the Trump family's crypto ventures. Based on the family's own financial disclosures, Reuters found the Trump organization's income from the first half of this year shot from $51 million to $864 million. About $800 million of that is from crypto. And the story details how most of the buyers are foreign investors and how all this money is going to belong to Trump when he leaves office.
I showed you the 60-minute interview. Foreign investors, they can just pick up the phone to any world leader, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner.
Is this something that you're going to look into at all?
Well, it's something that we are, like you, reading about this. We're trying to digest it. The difference between the way the Trump family is operating and the Biden family is they're admitting they're doing this. The president campaigned as a business guy. I'm not defending the policy. I think there needs to be ethics reforms, and I had a bill that Jamie Raskin killed last session because he thought that Kamala Harris was going to win the presidency, but it would have increased the disclosure. So as long as you disclose your income and disclose the sources, I think that's acceptable. If you lie about the income, you say, I never received money from China, and then we subpoena your bank records and there's $5 million from China, I think that's a problem. So, I think it's a legitimate question. A lot of people are concerned, especially since the crypto industry isn't regulated. But as my position now, as long as the president's disclosing this, and they're filling out disclosures and they're answering questions. He answers questions about it. If you ask him about his crypto, he'll say, yes, they've got the best crypto country in the world. Now, do the voters like that? I think that's going to be an issue in the next presidential election. I think it's a fair question. But from an ethics standpoint and from an oversight standpoint, the president is disclosing this income, and that, I think, is the most important part, the transparency.
Okay. So they're literally telling you what they're doing. So here's World Liberty Financial. Okay. I've been showing you the same things over and over again because I want this to really sink in what's happening. Okay. And this is really important. If you can, you can see my mouse here. Okay. See, it says Donald Trump, co-founder, Steve Witkoff, co-founder. You should be studying the Witkoff boys here and the family, what they're doing. Okay. So Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's names just recently switched to Emiratus One, if I'm saying that correctly. That means that they were co-founders, but they stepped out in control. The boys, Eric Trump, Donald Trump, and Barron Trump, are now running the ecosystem. Zach Witkoff, Alex Witkoff are running the ecosystem. The dads are writing the rules, and the boys are running the ecosystem. World Liberty Financial is a world bank. It is a decentralized platform. They now have USD1. And just to explain, USD1 is a stable coin. It is not an investment. You have RLUSD from Ripple. You have World Liberty Financial's USD1. You have Tethers. We have USAT now, which we have all the American. It's all America's dominating the stablecoin market. So Trump has the fastest growing stablecoin. His boys run the ecosystem. They're writing the actual rules. Okay, the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, and they're telling you exactly what to do. Eric Trump is telling you, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Trump, they created a blue chip crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, Solana. Sorry if I miss any. CRO, he's really bullish on CRO. I think I'm missing some. Sorry if I'm missing any in there, right? Guys, this is not a game. This is not a game. Crypto is not going anywhere. And this is your Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, talking about crypto.
We are going big on digital assets. So Trump administration has made digital assets a priority. Past administration starved and almost made extinct a lot of these companies and pushed it offshore. So what we want to do is apply the highest U.S. regulatory and AML standards to digital assets, especially stable coins. And I've seen estimates.
Let's leave it right there, especially stable coins. Oh boy. Okay. So let's break this down. Let's talk about my Capital DR strategy. I'm the creator of Capital DR. It is a very, very powerful system that I created in the new modern age of finance, right? Guys, the 60-40 doesn't work anymore. 60% stocks, 40% bonds. The bond market is destroyed. The US dollar is continuing to devalue. I'm not telling you what to invest in, but I want to explain you why I do what I do. At 2 to 3% inflation, every 35 years, the value of your dollar gets cut in half. Cash is trash. There's no backing to cash. They're going to suck all the cash, the cash, American dollars. The yuan is going to suck into stable coins. It's going to stabilize by the US Treasury short-term bonds. Okay, they're going to suck it up into a digital currency, which will be stable coins. Every bank will have a stable coin. Anybody can create a stable coin. You're going to have choice. So hence they built the ecosystem where you can play in WFI if you want to. So WFI is the token, right? USD1 is a stable coin. That's not an investment. It just holds. So to give you an example, if you exited profit from XRP, you could hold it in USD1 and it keeps it stable 1-to-1, right? If you didn't want to go into your traditional bank, that's the issue that banks are struggling with. TradFi is like eventually Coinbase, you won't even need to exit your Coinbase or Kraken. You won't need Wells Fargo. You won't need Chase. So they are scrambling right now. Scrambling. Jamie Dimon says it's used for criminals, but you're going to let us use it for collateral. Bitcoin doesn't make any sense, right? So I discovered this way back in 2020, and I was like, man, and I realized I am done being controlled by the system in regards to being manipulated. Like we're all being played when it comes to this stuff. You have to understand the system. There's no real money in the system. It's all debt. Everything is interest. There's no real money. Okay. So you're either on the debt side, getting poor, not beating inflation, or you're on the asset side. Somebody's winning and somebody's losing. So what I do is I create cash flow. I transmute my cash, C, into assets that have fixed supplies. Okay. You can use Bitcoin. I use XRP and Bitcoin, my top two. You can use gold. You can use silver, whatever you think. Fixed supply assets that will always be here that are fixed supply that you can't print anymore. Bitcoin is built into the code, 21 million, XRP 100 million. Okay. 100 billion, excuse me. But what in regards to that, guys, it is fixed supply. I think I just said it wrong. Sorry. But it's fixed supply, right? And it has a burn 100 billion, 100 burn mechanism in there, right? Every time a transaction goes across, it becomes more valuable. The token has to be expensive for the transaction to be cheap. So it's opposite of the US dollar. Dollar's inflationary. You see $100,000 in your bank account. I see 11% purchasing power went down. You see my crypto like this, and I see it like this over the long run. Okay. You have to put on a long-term horizon. So when my assets appreciate, Bitcoin, we're going to move to leverage. I pull profits, 50%. I put it down into protection. I use cash value life insurance, task code 77028. These have to be set up properly. They have to be funded with cash. They need to be structured properly or they don't work. They are not retirement policies. They are cash value life insurance where you can use tax code 7702A to become your own family bank. We use it to leverage at low leverage at 5%. We go to our own bank and we take it 5% and we beat the hurdle rate and we go into cash generating dividends. We go back into Bitcoin. We go back into assets that beat the 5% that pay off the loan. That's leverage. Okay. And then DR, we de-risk, we de-risk, we de-risk, we de-risk. Okay. So I get cash flow from my businesses in the bull run of 2022 to 2020 to 2022. I created cash generating businesses. Okay. With that, first 10% goes into cash generating dividends so that I can make a brother or sister, richest man in Babylon. When the dividends throw off cash, I de-risk into XRP and Bitcoin. Okay. My top 7 cryptos are XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, XLM, WLFI, HBAR, and VeChain. Okay. And then I have many others, but I'm going to be consolidating into the top 3. I'm diversified inside and outside of crypto. I don't wait for price predictions. I don't wait for hype. I build discipline. So as everybody's waiting for a price to go up, I'm building monster cash flow strategies and I'm refeeding the ecosystem. Okay. The goal is cash flow. Okay. Especially as I'm 49, I'm heading towards my retirement in 60. And my goal is to have cash flow for life. Everybody's waiting to get a big chunk at retirement. Then you're eroding your asset base. You need to create cash flow. You can do it through annuities. You can do it through dividends. So annuity is our cash flow base. We'll never outlive our money. I'm going to do my first annuity this 49. I'm doing my first annuity to get set up for 60 years old. Okay. That'll be my base. I'll never outlive my income. Okay. And then I'll layer my dividend strategy. So I constantly have cash flow coming in. And then when I want something, I buy it from a dividend. I don't buy it from my family's wealth. So we got to lock in, family. You got to lock in. Okay. So when I say taking profits, what do I mean? So this is the markets. The markets are pumping right now. There we go. So this is Merlin's smartest way to track your crypto. This is our demo account here. So we actually teach you how to take profit taking plans. Okay. So here's an example. If you go to BTC right here, you look, you can actually set up your profit taking plan. It helps you stay calm. We do ladder exits out, right? This is the greatest tracker in the world. We created the greatest tracker in the world. You can see all your exchanges, all your cryptos in one place, all your exchanges in one place. You can see the markets at a snapshot, and you can actually learn within our community in here. So if you want to learn how to do an exit strategy, we have how-to videos. We have our messaging system over here. where you can actually talk to our team or physically talk to somebody, you can get it 30 days for free down below in my description of my video or in my social media platform. Okay, so let me bring you guys back on. I'm going to keep bringing this up over and over again. You have to beat inflation, family. Okay, that's your hurdle rate. You have inflation that it's not 3%. They say it's 3%. It's probably like 10%, right? So if your investment's making 6%, you're not moving forward. You're just running in place. You're actually in the hole. Okay. Now you have the deflating dollar and you're borrowing a car at 6%. You now are losing value of your currency every year. Your car is going down in value and you have a 6% interest rate and your investment's making 6%. You're in the hole. You're not growing. You have to learn to take your money, create cash flow, put it into assets that will outpace inflation. Okay. And then when you want something like a car, you buy it with a dividend. So your asset base continues to grow. We have to learn how to do this. And we really need to, as adults, we need to get our shit together and we got to teach our kids, man. That's how we're going to save this country. We have to teach our kids. We have to move the 1% to the 5% at least in our lifetime. I got about 30 years left on this earth, hopefully longer than that. What am I, 50? I say maybe 40 years left on this earth, another whole lifetime, right? My goal is to move the 1% to the 5%. The Trump family is literally giving you the blueprint, guys. Like, don't believe some bearded dude on freaking whatever you're watching this on. They're the person who's writing the rules, signing the checks is literally rewiring the financial system. You're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before you know it. I shared with you guys in 2020, all the way through 2024. Everybody ridiculed. They made fun of me. Ripple beat the SEC by 2025. 2024, Trump gets elected. My XRP went up 800%. My Bitcoin went up 200%. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do the same thing from 2025 to 2030. We're going to build monster cash flow strategies. And by 2030, our families are set for life. But you got to be disciplined. You got to be consistent. Get out of the get rich quick. Okay. You got to be very careful with people's, oh, that's the next best crypto. This is the next best thing. No, it's not. It's not. It's always the same story. Okay. Okay. It's not going to be different. It's just going to be a different environment. Okay. There'll always be the top three at the end. You got the tech boom, the top three, the auto boom, the top three, the crypto boom, the top three, the AI boom, the top three. It always gets monopolized into the top three. So don't play games with your money. Be careful, be methodic, study your ass off, and never invest in anything you don't understand. Rule number one, don't lose money. Rule number two, follow rule number one. So hope that information helps. If you need support, we have our 3-2 Warrior Academy. Click my YouTube video down here. You can join our academy, or in my social media platform, click the link, get in the tribe, get in the vibe. We go through everything. We peel back the curtain, portfolios. We are educators. We don't invest your money at all. So anybody communicating with you, we do not invest people's money. We literally educate. We empower you to make your own decisions. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you.